10 seconds until it's load up, and we should be good to go in a bit. Good morning. Okay, I think we are live now. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our second episode of the Boneyard podcast. Today we have a special episode with Playmmc, the Murder Mystery Collective. It's a very exciting podcast show because today we're gonna show the demo of Playmmc game. So we have the Playmmc founder, Murder Mystery Collective. Please introduce yourself. Tell us more about you. What is your project for people who's tuning in new, and where you are building and what your goals and aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thanks for having me. Super pumped to be doing your second episode. I just love all the content that you guys are putting out and everything that you guys have been doing lately. So happy to be a part of it and appreciate you inviting me to join. So yeah, our concept, the murder mystery concept, is a Web3 murder mystery gaming concept where we're trying to bring to life the murder mystery experience in a gamified way for our community. And we do that in a number of ways. We have our on-chain game, which we'll get to, I think, a little later, to our actual first public preview of, where it resembles very much like an online escape room where folks are going to navigate in and out of different rooms and discover clues and evidence and solve puzzles and ultimately have to work together in order to crack the case. And we have some fun ways of rewarding them along the way for doing so. But in addition to the on-chain stuff that we're developing, we are also trying really hard to build a community around essentially, solve enthusiasts, which we've called them. So we've really brought this concept to life in Discord, where we're creating these different interactive murder mystery events where folks can come in and similarly, right, solve different puzzles and uncover different clues and, all work together on all their crazy theories to ultimately come up and solve these cases that we're putting in front of them. So, for me personally, I've been in the Web3 world for quite a long time. I started investing in crypto back in around 2016, the Bitcoin, Ethereum. Around 2019, 2020, I started getting into more of the P2E space, the Web3 gaming space. So I did a lot of consulting work with some of the early play-to-earn guilds, specifically that focused on games like Axie Infinity and Crypto Unicorns and Peg Axie. And I learned a ton, through that experience. And I had always thought that, I would want to create a concept or create a project that could really reach out to the masses, right? I think early on what we learned with Web3 gaming was that so much of the focus was on the earn piece that a lot of the gameplay itself wasn't very fun to play, right? And so in turbulent market conditions, that also meant a turbulent user or daily active users for these games. And so that's essentially how we came up with this concept of saying, hey, let's go reach out to folks who are going to just have fun with this murder mystery concept first, and then have the Web3 components, the earn components, be a nice, add-on to that.
Yeah. To be honest, I really enjoyed. Your Discord is like, and I was about to tweet about it today. But your Discord, sorry about that. Your Discord is the most active community in your protocol right now. That's what I believe in. I wanted to tweet about it, but sorry, I was a bit busy. But I think you guys built a very, very strong community, and Play MMC community, the Mystery Collective community is very, very strong in terms of that, and actually a very active community. And the way you guys structured the things in, like, the activities in your community is what make it very interesting, right? Because even mmc still doesn't have the game out yet, you guys give a bit of a glimpse, I think, or a bit of taste on what the game is and how the game will feel through the Discord, right? So you utilize the Discord and created some amazing activities in there. And I think I joined one of your activity. I'm really bad. at solving mystery and clues and things. Maybe because it's a language barrier, but generally, if I am like in Arabic, for example, I would know how to solve something, but in English, it's a little bit hard for me, right? So walk me through the ideas of you guys making your Discord that active, and the work that
Yeah.
went through it, especially when you guys launched, like before you launch. Okay, you did not have Discord at all, and I remember you did it by invite only back then, right? So the people who gets only selected people get to join the Discord for MMC at the start. So
Yeah.
walk me through this setup. What did you guys have that idea on, like making activities in Discord? Give a bit of glimpse and how the games maybe will work through Discord, utilizing Discord, or this is something that came later on.
Sure. Yeah. So great question. I mean, Discord is something that when we launched the project, we knew was going to be our main focus. And one of the reasons is, like, you look at any successful brand out there today, and the most successful brands are ones that are creating communities around the brand, right? People who are passionate about the brand, who are passionate about other people who love the brand. And that was something that we wanted to make sure that we created as quickly as possible, right? Like, essentially a community of folks who are really, enthusiastic about this concept and the different experiences we're going to bring. And just generally speaking, like, want a place where they can go and hang out and feel safe and meet friends and interact with others. And so, we made it definitely a point of emphasis. And I think one of the things that we need to realize about Web3 that sometimes gets lost in the shuffle, right? I've
Yeah,
been, trading
agree.
NFTs for the last couple of years, is um, we're the definition of these Web3 projects are early stage businesses, right? Early stage
Yeah,
projects. And so a lot of times folks are buying NFTs, which are essentially a capital raising event for these projects, to then go build something, like in our case, an on-chain game or whatever the project is building towards. And there's going to be a gap between when that first minting event or project launch happens and when the full utility is finally delivered. And I think where a lot of NFT projects fall short is there's this also gap in communication and this gap in engaging a community. And
yeah,
so, by the time you actually even recognize what you're trying to build towards, you've essentially lost anybody who was following you from the start. And we wanted to make sure that between the time we launched and between the time we roll out our on-chain game, that we were building this really strong community and bringing these experiences to them immediately, so that we didn't lose their engagement, we didn't lose their interest, and again, we created this connection with them and our brand. And not to mention, as we've been developing the game and we've been going through these different iterations of these interactive murder mystery events in Discord, our community is
yeah,
the best feedback loop, the best focus group we could possibly have. We have an event, we literally collect feedback, and then we make the next event better because of it. So it is a
yeah.
unique opportunity to have such a direct relationship with your community members. And Discord's just such an incredible platform to be able to do that and to be able to bring, these different interactive experiences to them as well.
Yeah, I do agree 100%. And I think project, especially when you are building in a bear market, right? You need your community, as you said, to stay interested in your project, right? So one of it is having an active community. And the way you guys do it, I'm a huge fan, to be honest. Yes, I don't have much time as I used to do back then. I used to like vibe, but I definitely met a lot of people through MMC Discord, like many people, and Nathan. Actually, I consider myself a good relationship with Nathan, and he's like, shout out to Nathan, one of the most active, I think, in the MMC community. And I met him as well through MMC. My relationship got a bit, you know, uh, in a close way with Nathan through MMC. But regardless, the interesting thing about it also is people hang out and spend time in the Discord at the same time they generate XP. And for the people who's just tuning in and doesn't know about Murder Mystery Collective, there is a special things or a special market for MMC that you can claim reward using the XP you generated from the Discord. So if you have been active through playing games, the mini games, which we can call them, or maybe let's say the mini, what do you call it? The mini events you have there, the events.
Yeah, we just call them, our murder mystery events.
Yeah, so
I
the
guess we haven't
murder
come up
mystery
with a
event.
creative name yet.
Yeah, I know. But the murder mystery event, so if you're like participating in this event, trying to solve it, or you have just been active talking with someone in the Discord, you earn XP. And this XP can be converted. And I'm going to show a screenshot of that market right now. But this XP can be converted to buy certain things. You guys have stables. You guys have, I think one time I saw Xbox, if I'm or PlayStation, if I'm not wrong. You guys had other collection NFT, Nico tokens. Like there is a lot of variety of things as well that you collection, which is the detective and the pups. Okay, so this is like for me is very very important, especially for people who's building in the bear market. You need the community to stay backing you up and, as you said, interested in the project, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, the marketplace was something that we had in mind from the get go. We essentially wanted to reward folks, um, reward folks who were simply engaged and active in the Discord, right? So for simply just hanging out in the Discord, meeting others. You mentioned Nathan; he's one of our most active members. He's also become a real close friend of mine as well. He's a great guy, and he even somebody new joins in, and he's going to go and
Yeah,
before I even get the opportunity to tell that new person everything they need to know about MMC and the marketplace and stuff. So that type of stuff is being rewarded. It also allows us to um, bring in these games and these different experiences, these mini events, these puzzles, these murder mystery events that we're doing in the Discord, and allow folks to be able to earn XP through doing that as well. And then we have a marketplace ranging from prizes like
yeah,
Near or Nico to NFTs, all the way up to you called it like an Xbox or a hoodie or things like that. The XP also allows you to participate in our lottery. So every 3 days in our Discord, you can actually play a lottery where you can burn 10 of your XP for a lottery ticket. And that ultimately, could win you, again, free NFTs, our remixed pup collection, XP, you name it. So,
yeah,
there's a number of ways you can earn it. And then lastly, the point there is like, we also didn't want to just limit this. Like you mentioned yourself, you said when you first started playing the games, they weren't quite, you weren't quite into the puzzle solving. So we've incorporated that feedback. We've tried to create as many different types of events in our Discord that folks can participate in, even if they're not into maybe the whole murder mystery concept. We have a jams channel, we have AI integrations, we have the lottery, we have Friday Night Poker, which is hosted by you guys, right? Even the
yeah.
events that we now participate in are role based, and all different roles have different types of ways that you can play and participate. Everyone from the diehard puzzle solvers just to folks who just want to come and hang out and discuss theories and crack a case. So the idea here was just to kind of broaden it as much as possible so that folks could come in, enjoy themselves, hang out in the Discord, earn XP, and get some rewards in the process.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is actually a really great idea. And the first time you actually launched the market, I jumped in and I found myself a detective there. It was a very long night, but I did manage to get myself an extra detective. But
There you go.
this is the marketplace, guys. Okay, and I'm sharing my screen now, so we'll scroll around it. So there is variety of things you can claim. There is NFTs. You can even claim near token. You can get a Visa gift. Okay, Visa gift cards goes hard, man. I like this one. Okay, and the hoodie is really nice.
Zeus is now
I,
going
we
to
have
be active.
we have had one
what
person
will?
claim the hoodie. By the way,
Oh, really? Do I know him?
yeah, yeah, let it easy claim the hoodie. So we've
Yeah, yeah,
got
I know.
our Europe presence with the MMC hoodie going on.
Yeah, the hoodie is really really nice, but my eyes on this guy is what I want, actually, the white detective, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, you can say the white detective is a kind of the rarest one when it's come to detective, right? And we will touch about this one just now. But I want to talk with you about the detective collection and the pups collection, guys. So there is two type of collections for the MMC. There's the detective and there's the pups. We'll touch on this one for a bit. This is the detective. This is how it's look like, and this is the pups. Okay,
This one's been
but this
claimed already,
is
hasn't it? The white
no,
detective.
no. That's a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
one that
that's a good XP.
that one has been claimed by Nathan actually. So
Yeah,
that
you see
Oh
particular
how
one
yeah,
is claimed.
no.
one of
Yeah,
one, then
yeah,
it gets gone. If it said 0 out of 1, it would be available.
yeah. I didn't want to break your heart there, Sus, but it's been claimed.
There's still a
Yeah,
lot.
well,
Well, we can find you another white detective. I'm sure there's
I wish I don't
someone
have
willing
that
to give
much.
one up. Yeah.
I don't have that much XP to be honest anymore. I don't know what was my XP last time. I haven't checked yet. But I do really want to, it's just I drifted a bit away with the Web3 work I'm doing. But I always supported MMC from the start. I still hold, I think, like 6, 7 detective and a few pups. I am more fan of the detective, and I think I said it to you before. I really like the detective. Billy Bones, in the other hand, and Mrs. Bones are very huge of the pops, and they always like go there, sweep the floor, go there, sweep the floor. So it's preference there,
Yeah,
guys. So both of the collection is fully minted out, and the detective one is what we want to talk about first. Okay, so let's talk about the detective. When you guys have your
sure.
in-chain game, right? What's the ability of the detective, and what's make it different and a probably higher value than the pups?
Yeah, good question. So we'll see this in a bit when we go through the demo. But our goal was to create. I've talked about this before on some Twitter Spaces,
Yeah.
but kind of a ramped onboarding into the project and different entry levels for really anybody who wants to participate in the MMC ecosystem. So everything from free claimable shard dog badges, to our pups up into our detectives. So our detectives are our max utility NFT.
Mhm.
And with when we talk about utility, we're really talking two things primarily. One is the in-game capabilities. So our detectives actually have the biggest responsibility in the game, where our murder mystery storylines, which are played over the course of different seasons, each season representing a different murder mystery, is going to have dozens, hundreds of clues that are going to have to be discovered by the community, and each of those clues are actually an NFT. The detectives are the only ones who have the ability to actually mint those NFTs. So once they find a clue, they have the power to see the clue before anybody else in the community sees it. And at that point, they're confronted with a decision to either keep that information to themselves
Mhm.
or to publicly reveal that clue for the rest of the community to see, in which case they'll be rewarded for doing so. And so, in a way, the detectives are the ones who hold the keys to the storylines themselves. They're the ones who are going to progress the storylines and either make it more difficult or easier for the community to ultimately gather enough evidence and crack the case.
Yeah.
So, again, these are folks who are the core diehard MMC fans who care a lot about the experience, of these different murder mysteries and the experience of the game. And then the second piece of utility is within our Discord. So, like, detectives have different channels and access levels, for example, to our AI integrations. When
Mhm.
we do host our murder mystery events, detectives have the largest XP earning potential over any other, role that we have in our server. So, it's kind of that small group. It was a small supply collection of really kind of that core MMC community that we've then built on top of.
Yeah. What? Okay. So we will jump a little later on, guys, on the game or the demo for the game, and we will talk more about what he meant by the clues and minting the clues. But one thing I want to make sure is like when the detective already want to get the clues, which you said there is like 100 plus. This is an actual NFT, right? As you said, like
That's right.
it's then they will have the choice to reveal it to public or save it to themselves, which they can actually either progress the gameplay or the storyline more, or keep it a bit behind, right? For some other people. Does that affect the how long the season will go? Does that give him an advantage? For example, what's the advantages for the guy who will show his clue in public, right? So if I decided to mint my clue and I showed it to public, will I have other advantages because I wanted to share that to public?
Yeah, really good question. So the I wouldn't say it's going to extend the duration of the season. So seasons are going to be about 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere in that time period. At the end of a season, just to back up for a second, every NFT holder, so whether you're a detective holder or a pup holder, for each NFT
Mhm.
you own, you're going to get one guess to crack the case. So you're going to guess who the murderer is, what the motive was, and what the method was. Depending on the accuracy of your guess and when you lock it in, you're going to be rewarded in XP as well. So
Mm.
now, if we go back to the detective, that decision they have to make between keeping the information to themselves or revealing it publicly, it's not that it's going to prolong the game, but instead, it's either they're going to have access to information that might give them an edge when it comes to guessing and cracking the case, or
Okay.
they're going to get rewarded for publicly revealing that clue to the rest of the community so that everybody can now partake in the discussion of how it plays into who the murderer was and solving the case.
Yeah, amazing. Actually, that's really good idea, And you guys, if you did not join MMC yet, you can, by the way, join the MMC. There is a QR code at the top left. You can scan it. You can join the MMC Discord, and then maybe work your way through earning a detective. I think can they earn XP and trade in the market without owning a detective?
Yeah, you can earn XP in the server without being an NFT owner for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. So people can actually be active in the community, contribute to the community, and then work their way to earn pops and detective as well from the marketplace. So you are basically getting the experience, the knowledge, and the NFT all for free just by being active. I have been talking a lot. Maybe Billy have some question. So Billy, do you have any question for Play MMC?
Yeah, I think I have a couple for you. So
Yeah.
I think we already covered the murder mysteries, right? Um, I did want to touch real quick before I get into your project. Is what I wanted to talk about was Few and Far. You guys launched on Few and Far. Are you going to
Yeah.
continue with Few and Far, or how is that looking? Because we've seen the Rogues recently mint out on Few and Far, and then they kind of went over to Paras. So I was wondering what's your guys' stance on that and how that's kind of playing out.
Yeah, so the whole situation is super unfortunate. We did launch, we did our mint on Few and Far. We did mint out before anything happened there. Um, yeah, I don't really have much of a comment on Few and Far other than it's unfortunate. What I will say is that it doesn't affect our project in terms of our long-term goals, right? So we still plan to deliver what we want to deliver. Of course, it has delayed development more on the technical side with the mint contracts and whatnot. But we're actually going to be announcing a new partnership next week on the secondary side to have our official secondary partner locked in moving forward. I think the community will be pretty happy about that one. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't. We're still developing our game. We're still bringing experiences to Discord, and really, have separated ourselves from that situation, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, so I was just wondering because the Rogues moved over and stuff, and I haven't spoken to them about why they made that decision. But I was just wondering, since you guys minted both detectives and pups on their platforms, just wondering. So thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll say is we've had even with our minting on Few and Far, me personally, I have amazing relationships with the folks over at Paras, at Tradeport, at Mintbase, at Shardog. So we feel, the near ecosystem is just amazing, and so we feel totally supported on that front.
Right. Did we touch on the lottery yet?
Oh, I want to ask
I think
about this one as well.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it briefly, but happy to talk more about it. Did you have a specific question, or you just want me to talk about
No, I just wanted to boast that I just won a Halo recently. So
it?
if you wanted to like sit here and explain to us a little bit about how it works and stuff, so everyone knows
Yeah,
and can jump into the Discord and get their chance.
yeah, for sure. So first of all, my PFP here is showcasing the Halo. So you still owe me a pup. Yeah. So the MMC lottery is something that we rolled out a couple months ago. It allows anybody in the Discord every 3 days to burn 10 XP for a lottery ticket. There's 10,000 total. So when the 10,000 are up, we'll have to see. But there's 10,000 total tickets, and you can win a variety of prizes, anything ranging from 20 XP, 50 XP, 100 XP, 1,000 XP. We had a 3,000 XP winner, to free detectives, free pups. And then what we've recently rolled out is what we call our remixed undercover pups. And this is a super fun thing that we've done, where one of the prizes you can win in the lottery is a trait. So you might, like you said, you win a Halo, you might win the blue fur, you might win the 3D glasses. And you can choose any of your existing undercover pups, and we will essentially remix it, or we will create that pup with that new trait and mint you a completely separate NFT through Shard Dog. Incredible team, incredible technology they're building over there. But yeah, you get a claimable link, you get this collectible Shard Dog with your new remixed pup. And it's just been a ton of fun seeing, what pups people are picking for what traits, and seeing all the remixes has been great. So yeah, Billy Bones, you owe me what pup you want to remix, and we'll get a Halo on it.
Yeah, I haven't decided. I haven't even looked. I saw it, and they're like, "Hey, which one?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I gotta go look." But I'm excited for that. That was a good one. The last one I got, maybe a month or two ago when you first started doing it, I got a suit, I believe. So that was cool. Um,
Yeah, the
did
suit is dope.
we, did,
Underrated trait.
yeah. Did we talk about the current fortune teller murders mystery going on?
Yeah, so I don't think so. Would love to talk about this. So yeah, we like we said, we host these murder mystery events. We usually like to do about two per month, two big events per month, and then we'll sprinkle in some of our mini events there. But these events are full-fledged, week-long murder mysteries that are all done through our Discord. So they're all interactive experiences where the community is working together to uncover clues, run tests, solve puzzles, and ultimately, create some discourse around who they think the murderer is, and how it was committed. We tend to do these mysteries, these different events, in series of like three. So the Fortune Teller Murders is a series that we've had going on. The first two uh, uh, events have occurred, and this is the trilogy, the final event. It's going to wrap up the storyline. I know I have a tendency to say this for every event, but this one is truly our biggest, craziest, most elaborate event yet. I think the community is going to absolutely love it. I want to go back to one of the things that Seuss mentioned, which was that he didn't feel when he had first joined that he could participate in the events. They were too puzzle heavy, and so we've taken that feedback. And in the Fortune Teller Murders, the format is role based. So to register, you're going to select from one of four roles: detective, a coroner, a cryptanalysis, and a forensics. And you can read the descriptions of each in our Discord. But depending on what your level of participation is, or how you want to participate, there's a role for you. If you just want to talk and communicate and join in on the discourse, there's a role for you. If you want to solve really intense puzzles, there's a role for you. If you want to run tests and examine evidence, there's a role for you. So no matter how you want to participate, you can. And so that's going to launch next week. You can go in and register now, and the crew in there is going to be more than happy to tell you what our events are all about, and how to participate, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's great. One thing I want to show you actually, which I think we will go back a bit. I just didn't want to cut you guys. When I minted my pop, I got an MMC proof of mint ticket. I let me share screen and show that to you. Is that the lottery you're talking about? Where
No,
where is that? Okay, I don't know what's that, to be honest.
So this was something that, again, we have a really close relationship with Char Dog, and I could do a whole other half hour just talking highly about
Yeah,
those
yeah,
those
yeah.
guys and what they're building. But this was another project that we did with Char Dog, where when you minted your pup, we had these proof of mint raffle tickets, and at the time we had a raffle, so each ticket, entered you into a raffle to win. I believe there was a couple different prizes, but some of our special edition pups, and there were some
Yeah.
big ticket items that you could win. But sneakily, what we did was on that ticket, there's actually a very little mini little QR code that we didn't tell anybody at the time. And if people who found it scanned it, there was a whole hidden puzzle that folks could solve for rewards. And so Miss Bones was one of the ones who solved it. Nathan solved it. I think Daniel was the first to solve it. He won a blue pup from it. So yeah, it's just another way that we've tried to incorporate a fun way to reward folks who minted the pups, but doubling down on this solving concept that we're bringing to the community.
Yeah, I just noticed the QR code you're talking about. I have not seen it before, to be honest. Okay, and that is
There you go.
such a
Yeah.
cool idea, man. Like now I know about it. It's really really nice idea. Sorry, I'm not in the loop, guys, a lot, in MMC, but yeah, man, I really like, I part as MMC said before, you don't really need to be very good at solving puzzles to participate, right? And my experience, I always was scared to participate. Oh man, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to solve this. I will just be rumbling some stuff I don't understand. And when I tried it one time, it was actually pretty very very enjoyable experience. And the feeling when I actually solved something, it was like, wow, I actually did something, So I really like
Yeah.
this idea. I'm very excited to see what you guys can do with the game. I know some people are more into, like, I personally love to play FPS game and shooter games, moving around, but this is some sort of game like you put your music on, you sit and you start reading and trying to figure out. So I think a lot of people enjoy this, even like you're drinking your coffee in the morning and just listening to music, jamming about it. It's really really good. So I'm
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
excited to
I
see the
appreciate that,
demo
man.
game.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Sus is always welcome to the Discord server for some good old beaning. Yeah, man. So
Well,
Nathan,
even if like yourself and myself as well, we're not that good at murder mysteries, but you can just like
yeah.
play off other people's findings. Everyone, we all share the clues that we find and what we think is going on and stuff. I mean, I've only
Mhm.
participated in a couple of them, but every time I did, it was fun. And if someone figures out something, someone will click in your head. Like, oh, this is a good clue, or we should start doing this, or we should
Yeah,
reveal
yeah.
this next. We kind of play off each other, and figure stuff out
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
It's like
I,
brainstorming,
I,
right? But in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It's
I appreciate so much what you guys are saying, because that's the goal. Like, sometimes I even hate using the word game, because it's really more like the game is like the discourse around the game. Like, the game is the tinfoil hat conspiracy theories about who the murderer was and why. And you can literally see in the Discord people talking through late hours of the night trying to figure out who, trying to crack the case. And like, that's the game right there, and that's the
mm,
experience we're trying to bring to folks. And the game itself is just the clues and the mechanism in which that information is fed to the community.
It kind of
yeah,
reminds me of
absolutely.
like sorry, Seuss, Dungeons and
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Dragons.
Go ahead.
It's a tabletop game, and you don't need to sit in front of an actual monitor or have a console playing a game. The game it's up here. You play the game, and you just kind of
That's
play off
right.
each other's imaginations, and you guys set it up, and then we just knock them down, and we work together as a team, and it's good vibes every time, no matter what.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, well, it is a good vibe, and it's a very nice way to spend your day. To be honest, usually, and I will touch on. You don't basically call it a game, but I think a game is anything that you enjoy doing with someone else, right? So it can go to many other things, and Yeah, it's built around the Discord and stuff like this, but I still consider it a game. I will just jump in Discord and play a game in MMC, and it's very innovative. Okay, props to you for this. I have always admired how innovative you guys are in terms of how to keep your community engaged and how to make that thrilling story and stuff like this. So that's a bit of personal question, but do you have any background in this type of things to actually be able to create this storyline? And for people who doesn't know, all the storyline is AI proof. So you can't use an AI to actually get an answer or a clue, right?
Yeah, yeah. For now, we'll see how strong the AI gets. The AI may be writing the stories pretty soon. No, but yeah. So my background is in data analytics engineering. So I'm a software engineer. Um, so I develop all of our Discord interactions, all of our Discord bots, the games, the AI interactions, the lottery, all of that I personally developed myself. One of the first hires I made when I started the project was a creative writer, and he is responsible. He is our, he used to be referred to as the puzzle master, but he is much more than that. He writes these really in-depth storylines, and he cranks them out each and every month. He does an amazing job of creating all of these different details and intricacies. He writes all of our puzzles, all of our clues. And we understand that our product is only as good as the storyline itself, right? If we're not bringing really, quality storylines and in-depth storylines and logical storylines, right? Like the clues need to actually link together and make sense, and this all needs to come together. Um, and he just does such an incredible job of that. So yeah, quick shout out to him.
Did
Yeah.
we touch on? Sorry, Zeus again. Did
Go
we
ahead,
touch
man.
on AI yet? You're using AI for storytelling or something like that, right?
Yeah, so we're using AI for quite a bit of. So first of all, any NFT holder, you have access to AI chatbots directly in our server. So if you want to go ask ChatGPT 4 a question about anything, give me a recipe for chicken fajitas tonight, you're more than welcome to do that. You also have text to image AI, so that one is still maturing, but still, I think like Lebanese likes to, for some reason, generate pictures of men with really large mustaches. But whatever you crave, you can go in there and use as well. And then, yeah, there's a feature that it's been delayed a bit, but I've been working on behind the scenes. And actually, I've already previewed this feature with our white coat holders. An extra shout out of utility for anybody who owns a white coat. But it's AI storytelling. And it's this choose your own adventure uh, murder mystery storytelling mechanism in which you select an era. So you might pick the Victorian era or the 1980s or the disco era, and it will give you the first chapter of a murder mystery story. It will then give the audience three choices on how they want that story to go. And so they can click a choice, and then it's going to write the next chapter, and then the next chapter, so on and so forth until the story concludes. So we've tested this out with our white coats. They've had a blast with it. The story quality is just incredible, what AI can do. And in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be rolling it out to the greater community as well to engage on.
Awesome. One more thing I kind of wanted to do is to kind of like play a little game here. This has been around like forever, since we were like kids, and you would say, who would you date, who would you marry, and who would you dump? So I kind of want to do like a twist, and I've seen this happen on other podcasts and Twitter spaces where I'm going to ask you, who would you pump and who would you dump and who would you hodl? And it doesn't have to be any chain specific. Just who are you
Ooh.
pumping, who are you
Man,
dumping, who are you hodling?
you should have locked it into near chain, so you put him in a tough situation.
I mean, it's on you. If you want to keep it on the near, you keep it on near.
I'm guessing for to make it fun, I should probably not. I should exclude MMC assets from that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll start with my hodl, however it's pronounced. But when I first started collecting NFTs, I actually started collecting NFTs on Ethereum. I was deep into the Ethereum, PFP world. There's one collection in particular that I've held on to for a while, and I just love their brand. And a lot of how I've modeled my community building has been actually from my experience watching how they did community building. So it's called Degen Tunes. and go check it out on OpenSea. It's this really dope PFP collection. They've delivered a ton to the community since they've launched. The artwork is just so dope. It's like resembles like that '90s cartoon illustration. Gives you that like Saturday morning, cartoon feelings all over again. So I'll choose that out. In terms of what I dump, oof, I guess I gotta go
That's
with.
a tough one.
Yeah, I mean those FNF Club NFTs. I don't think
Oh
those are
man.
worth holding off to the few. So I'll go with those. I'd probably also dump whatever those foxes were. That whatever. And what was the last one? Like not huddle but like date or fling
Oh,
or
date? Oh yeah. I think it's a
or
date.
buy.
Pump. Who are you pumping? Who
Oh,
you're
pump.
you're gonna pump your bags? Who are you gonna pump?
Yeah.
Because hodling,
You
you're
know,
just gonna keep them in your wallet and not sell, right? So we're talking about who you're gonna pump,
yeah,
who you being loud on Twitter for, and who you're gonna simp for, basically.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Cafe Citizens. I think those are super dope. I know the team behind them. They're amazing people, amazing team. We've done some collaborations with them. We have some upcoming collaborations that we're planning with them. I think the artwork is dope, and so many NFTs have tried to do the whole like trait marketplace thing, and they delivered on it. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Good choice. Very good choice.
I think that's all the questions I have for now. Seuss, do you have anything before Playmmc starts demoing what he wants to
Yeah.
show us?
Well, I have like a couple small questions. I don't want to go in depth with it because it's gonna like make the show really long.
Go for it.
But for the one you choose already, I agree. I like your choices. It's pretty good one. I myself will choose the same answer for the dump. I will probably I will hold 100% my Kang. It is my personal brand. And yeah, so one question, and you mentioned already Axie Infinity, and you mentioned Big Axie. And if people watch or hear our podcast or the Twitter Spaces before, I did mention Big Axie couple time, or people know me. They know I lost a lot of money there. So that's a bit of technical question. I don't want to go like super in depth with it. I know you guys are gonna have a token, right? And it's gonna be tied up to your game. So what do you think? And we saw other games like Pickaxe, for example. It has a huge, massive success, and then it just went all the way, skydive all the way to the bottom when the token was not performing well. So tying up
Sure.
a game and an NFT with a token does come at risk as well, right? So do people
Yeah.
sometimes prefer two token system, one for utility, one for something else? But yeah, in regard of this, I know you guys were planning to have a token. I'm not updated in all the news, to be honest. If you guys
Yeah.
decided not to go for, and it's gonna be tied up to your in game, right? So what preparation
Yep.
are you guys thinking of? Not tying up the project that massively with the token and still have a huge success. Regardless of the token price.
Yeah, so really good question. So I'll mention this, on that little fun game we just played, and then what I talk about in terms of my opinion on tokens. None of this is financial advice, obviously. So you're incredibly correct in that the tokenomics for some of these early play to earn games, and even some of the new play to earn games that come out, are not sound. And I don't think that's because of malicious intent. I just think that game developers tend to not be economists rather. And tokenomics is really hard. And we did a lot of time studying it and constructing what we think would be a stable, sound, token economy. But at the end of the day, it has to be able to weather the storm of turbulent crypto markets, because crypto markets by definition are volatile and turbulent. And so if, in the case of Axie Infinity, the game is fun. It's great. Don't get me wrong. but such a large portion of their user base was really looking at it more as passive income than they were a fun game that they were playing. As soon as the
Yeah.
passive income price or the price of these tokens makes it so that it's not passive income, well, then all of those users are going to jump ship because they're not getting any form of intrinsic value out of the game. And if we just look at the free to play or Web 2 or traditional gaming space, right? People pay a lot of money to play Fortnite and Madden and all of these games, not because they're expecting to be able to get some reward from it, but rather because they're having so much fun playing and they want a dope skin or a new tool or a new player and Madden, right? Whatever it is, right? That they're willing to pay and receive this intrinsic value from it. Now, Web3 infrastructure lends itself to be able to do really dope stuff, like not only the earn piece, which I'll get to in a moment, but making these assets tradable. So like if you get the clue in season 1 of MMC, that's like the clue, right? It's like the smoking gun, if you may. But that becomes a collectible, and that's really fun. That's something that you can then trade on a secondary market, right? So our opinion was, yes, originally we were planning on launching with the token. We've now shifted the focus to not launching with a token for a number of reasons. The first is everything I just described, right? We don't want to confuse fun gameplay and intrinsic value with people who are coming in to make passive income. Our game is not an RPG or one of these, it is something that is more community based, and therefore we simply don't need folks who are thinking about making passive income through playing the game. So that's number one. Number two is there's a lot going on in the US right now, regulatory wise, and we don't know how any of these tokens are going to be treated 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. And so to downsize any of our risk exposure, it is much easier to launch a game with essentially an XP reward system, like a Web 2 reward system, right? Even though the infrastructure of our game is on Web 3, which allows for all of the other great utilities that Web 3 provides. So at least for season 1, that's our plan. There is no plans right now of launching a token. And we still will have a reward system. We'll still have our marketplace. So it's almost, you can think of it like Dave and Buster's, right? Where, you're playing these games, you're getting tickets, and then you can redeem those tickets for prizes at the end. So you can still be rewarded for your hard work and contribution to the story. Just not in the case of a token or a fiat currency or something like that.
I 100% agree with you. And I think, I mean, props to you guys, for you especially, and the team who's working with you. You guys have some really, really great ideas, and you guys are working towards the right path, okay? Because a game is a game and it's gonna be fun regardless of a token or no. And as you said, one of the major upsets for big games, okay, was because people invested on them as an investment, not as they enjoy the game. So, of course, if you put your money as an investment and you see the investment is going down in value, then you get upset, and that's gonna fud your game or your project later on and just keep dragging the reputation down. We saw that with Axie Infinity, which have around 2.5 million players back in November 2 years ago, with the SLP price was really high. And then right now it's only like 100 or 150, I think, thousand players. Still, they have a good, massive player base, but because they shifted from thinking this is an investment, come guys and invest in Axie Infinity and have fun at the same time, rather than I just play the game and have fun, right? So that's something really good. I myself, Billy, and any gamers will tell you we spend a lot of money in Web 2 games just for cosmetics, and reward system can be obtained, and I said that before actually, which is what you are going for, can be obtained in any different way. You can still reward the community through XPs that can claim other stuff later on, NFTs and top leaderboard. This is way better than just launching a token and giving it away. So I agree with this, and really, really great job with that, to be honest. And if that doesn't make you guys bullish about the project, I don't know what to tell you. But seriously, man, I really, really like how you are implementing things and the ideas. And no wonder why MMC is doing actually a fantastic job, even in the bear market in their protocol.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate it, and again, thank you guys. You guys have both been supporters since launch, and Boneyard, really close partner of ours. So yeah, I appreciate everything you guys do as well, all your support.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so guys, for anyone who's watching this after the live, comment which color you want your pops to be, okay, in the Twitter. If you are watching this after the live, comment what color do you like your pop is, and we're gonna do some giveaways for the one who will watch this one afterwards. That's some goes maybe a bit with MMC. Find the clue in the live, right, in the podcast.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. So we don't want to take a lot of time. We have been already live for 50 minutes. I would like to see the demo. I'm one of the people who actually want to see the demo, but I did not have the chance to see it in Discord. So can you share screen with us and show us some demo for what you guys have been building so far?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Ethan, is it tough? Oh, they have to watch it. They have to watch the podcast, man, to be able to find it. We are giving away a few pops there, so they got to find
All right.
it.
So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I will just put it live. Okay, there we go.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so our game is currently deployed on Near's testnet. So everything I'm showing you is on testnet, right? Like I said, our game is really a 2D map, and it resembles very much the experience of like a digital escape room, where folks are dropped immediately right here into our season 1 opening scene. They can go and connect their wallet here in the top right. And as they scroll down, they're going to be introduced to our characters and our initial scene. And so each season that we have, which represents a different murder mystery storyline, is going to have a series of scenes and rooms that they can navigate in and out of. And within each of these scenes, there's going to be, like I said, dozens of embedded clues. So any of these items we see here, popcorn, balloon, characters, those can all be potential clues. And it's going to be up to the community to dig through these different scenes in order to find the clues and uncover them. So a couple of different ways that we can navigate in and out of scenes. So some scenes are just going to be open. Some are going to be locked that either are going to require a puzzle to be solved or are going to be released on like a scheduled cadence. But you can see that a user can just hop right into the FSM Superstore, for example, and they'll be introduced to a new scene with a new set of details and characters, etc. And so as they're digging into each of these scenes. So, for example, we can also maybe hop into the murder scene, the actual car where John Norris, which is our unfortunate victim in season 1, was found dead with an apparent head wound. And now all of these little items that we see are potential clues. And so, for example, we can click on this file, right? We can click on this, whatever this is down here. And when you first click on it, if it hasn't been discovered yet, the status of it is available. So we see the silhouette picture, we see, what the name of the clue is, but we don't actually know any of the contents behind it. And this mint button is only going to be available to our detective holders, right? So they'll come in, they'll pay with Near. These are just example. You're going to have to bear with me. Testnet is painfully slow to sign this transaction here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but detectives are going to be the only ones with that access to mint that clue. And as soon as this is done, we'll go back and we're going to see that the status is going to change to found. And what that means is that somebody has minted it, but they are now the only ones who are holding the contents of that clue. They are the only ones who know what that clue actually is. So let's give it a second here.
Yeah. Well, while we are waiting for it, okay, it's gonna take a bit of time. I really like the details. I mean, like when you click in the car, that's really a nice details there.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. And so here now it is found. So now we see what the clue is. We see, we see the actual contents behind the clue. So what did we actually find? And so now this very important decision comes for that detective holder to say, you know what, this clue is so important, in my opinion, that I'm going to hold this to myself. Or I think somebody else is really going to want this clue, so I'm going to just sell it on secondary and hope that somebody buys that, right? Because they think it's a really good clue. or they might enter it into a staking contract. And in terms, we're actually going to change the word staking because it's not even staking. Let's call it a revealing contract. But what it does is it holds that NFT for the remainder of the season, so they can't transact it. But by doing so, and again, we're going to have to sign another transaction here, so bear with me. By doing so, they're now changing the status of that clue to what we call available, which means that any player can go into the map and now see the contents of that clue. So that now is something that the ecosystem or the community can start to discuss as a new data point in the case. So you'll see it now says revealed, right? Depending on how long you quote unquote stake or how long you enter into these revealing contracts and the relevance of that clue to the storyline, at the end of the season, detectives are going to get rewarded in XP for helping with the case, for progressing that storyline further. Another thing I want to mention is that everything I'm showing you right now is going to be completely free to play. You're not going to have to own an NFT to access our game map. So we intend to have a lot of folks, specifically Web2 folks, who don't even know what Web3 NFTs are, who are just following along the case and just seeing the new clues that get posted and perhaps talking with their friends or joining our Discord and just like trying to solve the case and playing along passively and using that as a mechanism to eventually onboard them to, digital asset ownership or owning an NFT.
Yeah.
So that's the experience of finding and revealing clues. We then have like your clues, and if you've staked them or minted them, you have all the clues. So you have this sense of like gotta collect them all, right? So the community can keep track of which clues are found and not found. And so after the community has worked effortlessly on finding these dozens, hundreds of clues, talking about the case, at the end of the season we're going to open up our guessing portal. And our guessing portal is going to allow us to select any of our NFTs. So every NFT is going to essentially be one guess. I'm not going to sign that transaction now. And then they're going to be prompted with who the murderer was, right? What the method was, so on and so forth. And they'll go ahead and submit that. This isn't working here at the moment, but that's okay. And all of that information, the answers to those prompts, I should say, are all on chain. So that's one thing which is really neat about using Web3 for this concept is like all of this logic is codified from the beginning of the season. So we can't play Puppet Master. We can't change the murderer chain to the motive, right? It is all coded and available on chain. So it is true, the community might not solve it at all, or they might crack it. And that's a risk we have to take. And again, that comes through in our ability to storytell. But yeah, then you have your guesses. You can claim rewards once the season concludes, depending on the accuracy of your guess. And those rewards will be XP again that you can redeem on the marketplace. So yeah, I know we're up on the hour, so that's a very kind of quick demo there. But I'll pause and see if there's any questions from you guys.
Yeah, I have one question. So when they minted the clue and they want to list it in the secondary marketplace, people who's looking to buy it, they basically can't see what it's contained, right? They can't know what the clue is. Only after they buy it, they can see it.
That's right. So the way it works is the owner of that clue, we authenticate, right, when you connect your wallet. And if you are the owner, then we surface the information to you. If you're not, you do not see the information. So you could buy a clue, see the information, and then sell it on secondary for somebody else to see the information when they become the owner, right? But what you're not doing is there's no way for anybody else publicly to see it unless they are the actual owner of that clue.
Okay, that's actually really good. So basically, if someone minted like a very important clue, then yeah, it's gonna be worth a really good amount of near tokens there, right? It's gonna be
Yeah, so
a pricey
listen,
clue.
I'm not even going to speculate on the pricing of it, but yeah, it's going to become a desired asset, right? Because
Yeah.
and again, this all comes back to like the enthusiasm. Like we have real enthusiasts who are like gonna really want that because they're so like, dedicated to cracking this case, and they know that's going to be an important clue. And so all of this game theory around these different, Web3 components is just again, it's all just a way to engage the community and make sure they're having as much fun as possible playing these.
Man,
So
I'm really excited. Sorry, Billy. I'm really excited, man, for this. To be honest, even though I really don't know what I will do with my clue, I'll probably reveal them. But I think you guys did amazing. This is the first time I watched the demo, and I got to tell this is really amazing. Very very nice, and I really like, as I mentioned before, that you can click and navigate it through the picture you are doing. So, really really good job. Go ahead, Billy.
Oh, I was saying that Light was saying in the chat just now that this is the first time he's seeing this. So, Play MMC, you showed us as holders the demo a month ago or something like that. So, is this the
Yeah.
first time it's been actually being showed to the public, or non-holders?
Yeah. So I've done 2 rounds of private previews. The first was to I believe, our white coat holders, yeah, and the second was to our whale server roles, which is the one that you participated in Billy. And this is the first public preview demo, yes, of the game. So obviously, it was going to give Boneyard first crack at getting the public demo out there.
I was just trying to confirm. I wasn't sure if you had shown this publicly yet or not within the Discord, or I had no idea. So that's awesome. You heard it
No,
here
not
first.
yet.
On the Boneyard.
First time.
Awesome.
Can we expect a certain date on which the game will be launched on? Like what date the game will be launched on?
Yeah, so this I want to be super transparent about, and I'm glad you asked. So our target was actually this summer. Obviously, we're now reaching towards the end of the summer, so we're behind target. Two
Mhm.
things have delayed the release. So you saw the game is fully functional. It's available on testnet. One is the regulatory crackdowns in the US and having to strip out the token from the game and really just make sure that all of our contracts are up to speed with regulation, which is constantly changing and something that we're staying on top of and making sure that we are completely playing by the books on all fronts. So that is one. And then two is the unfortunate event of Few and Far. The game does depend on the minting contracts from Few and Far. And so we are going to have to, repurpose those. And like I said, we have a ton of support and partners from the Near ecosystem that I'm confident we can do that. But again, just another delay in the cycle. So we still intend to get this out this year. But yeah, just wanted to be transparent about a couple of the delays along the road that we've had. And again, that's why we're doubling down on these Discord events and these Discord experiences, because we want to show our community we're fully committed to bringing these fun murder mystery concepts to them. And just because there's delays in the game doesn't mean that we can't have fun in the meantime, which I think we've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It is actually. And for everyone, guys, you have to join the MMC Discord and get a bit of the amazing experience you can get in Web3 in regards of how the community engage in MMC. You definitely don't want to miss that. Plus, your XP will all be rewarded to you back. You can get yourself a pop. You can get yourself whatever you like from the marketplace. MMC, we are around 1 hour. Do we have any other questions from the people who's watching live, or Billy? Maybe you have other questions.
I think all of my questions have been answered, and I am a holder. I've minted, and I want to thank PlayMMC for showing up today and showing the preview of the game live here publicly before anyone else. Was not aware of that, so thanks for that. That was awesome. Seen it here first. I don't have any other questions besides win game, but we got a little delay, so
Yeah.
it's all good. I think everyone wants to know a bit about that, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I don't have much. Before we do close it out, though, I did want to mention we want to hold some bounties through the Boneyard. We want to do some content creation, maybe thread writing and stuff like that. So that's live now. If you join the Boneyard, you can check that out in the announcements. It's fairly cheap right now, but I want to feel it out a little bit, So do check out that. That's pretty much it for me.
All right, I got.
Yeah.
I just want to close on one last thing. You know, I've told you how much I appreciate your guys' support throughout since we've launched, and how amazing our community is. But I also just want to give a quick shout out. None of what we've been able to accomplish and what we will accomplish would be possible without our incredible staff as well. So we have Butters and Monza who are on the team. They have pioneered some of our most popular, Discord features. Butters was the pioneer behind MMC Jams, which is a crowd favorite. Monza has done a ton for us as well. He actually just launched our Zeely campaign. So for folks who want to go and earn some extra XP by going through our Zeely quest, that's up and live, and Monza can guide you through that. But yeah, the both of them are just incredible. And the three of us have just vibed together from the beginning. And I think that has really kind of translated into our, broader community and ecosystem that we're building here.
Yeah, amazing. Before we close, then we'll have to talk. Is the XP you earn from the Zile will be converted to Discord XP?
So what we're starting, we're figuring out how that conversion might work. So what we're doing in month one is we're just doing a leaderboard. So I think we have prizes for the top 5 XP earners in Zeely are going to get XP payouts in our Discord server. But the goal is to make it a universal XP where your Zeely XP converts to our XP. It's just we're just figuring out the mechanics of that.
Yeah, amazing stuff. So more ways to earn XP, guys, from MMC, and at the end you earn more XP. You eventually get yourself something from their marketplace. I still hope I will get the white coat eventually one day. If Nathan agreed the
We'll
last
get
time.
you one. We'll get you one.
I appreciate it. Nathan, the last time Nathan was like, I'm telling you, man, in Twitter, I think you saw it. I was like, man, that white coat is really nice. Do you want to swap? And he was like, nah, that's mine. I was like, okay. But
That
yeah,
thing will be in Nathan's wallet for the rest of eternity. I'm sure about that.
I'm 100% about, for sure, certain about this. And shout out to Nathan as well. Really nice guy, and the most diamond hand I've seen in my life, like literally. But alongside Billy as well. Billy is a very strong diamond hand. I'm not that diamond hand, guys. Okay, so don't quote me in that. But yeah, these two guys are like really diamond hands. But in regards, man, I always loved what you guys doing from the start. I still hold some of my detective. I did sold maybe some, I think before I sold some of the pops, but I still hold like 7, 6, 7 detective, I think. And I'm here to support you guys. I really, really like what you guys doing. You have an amazing team, and I'm just bullish from now on, even since before with what you guys are doing. It's, you want to look at the project and evaluate it, you have to look at the people who's building it, and you guys are doing amazing job. So props to you for that. And if you guys have any closing statement, please say your closing statement. We are around 1 hour 10 minutes, so I will close the show after that.
I think Nathan's grandson is going to sell his NFTs and go buy a house. maybe more. I don't know. Generational wealth. But Light did have a question, a last minute question before we close it up. He said, "What if the person with the clue isn't revealing it?"
Yeah. So again, this goes back to what I talked about. Our product is our storytelling. And one of the first things that I told my creative writer when I hired him was, you cannot have any season or any murder mystery hinge on a single clue or even a handful of clues, because then somebody's going to be able to hold that information and destroy the game for everybody else. So the games are written in where there are obviously clues that are going to be more important than others, but there is no smoking gun single clue or 3 clues that are needed to solve the case. So yeah, if somebody doesn't reveal it, it might give them that slight advantage in knowing that information over others, but it's certainly not going to prevent the rest of the community from being able to solve the case.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
great question though.
I guess we can
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, Playmmc, thank you so much for joining our podcast. This is the second time we do it in Boneyard. So, we always try to improve and make our podcast even more enjoyable for other people. This podcast will be cut into short form, guys. So after this, there will be the full version of it on Twitter as well. We will have certain section of this podcast cut the important ones and the alpha that was dropped, especially the gameplay. So thank you so much for coming in. It was really good talking to you and knowing you even more. You know, I am really bullish at MMC, and I still stand with the biggest, I think, community on Near Protocol right now is MMC as a genuine users and an active user. So thank you so much again. I will, if you have any closing statement, please do say so.
No, I just want to say thanks again. I appreciate you guys and appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the good work.
Okay. For people who's watching us live, thank you so much for joining our live. I hope you guys enjoy it and got some alphas from us. Maybe we introduce something new to you. So this is a very bullish project. To be honest, I am bullish on it. Do your own research, but I'm telling you, after you do your research, you're gonna have a lot of positive about this project. So okay, for the giveaway, again, guys, you need to also tag MMC in the comment. Hashtag MMC, go give them a follow, drop a proof of the follow in the comments. We're gonna do a raffle in between that. So yeah, all of this, if anyone is watching this one later on, you can do that and you will enter a giveaway. Thank you so much for tuning in. Billy, thank you so much as well, Play MMC, and everyone in the chat. See you again in our next podcast.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.